Dangers must be faced spiritually. Readiness and bravery are needed during critical times. During the occupation, the Italians would take 4 or 5 animals, come to our field, and load them with melons. Once I told them, "We are keeping these melons for seed. Take those over there." The Italian lifted up his whip and said, "Do you see this?" I took hold of the whip, looked at it, and said, "Bean, that is, it's a good whip," as if he had shown me his whip to see if I liked it. In that instant his anger broke. He laughed and went away. I remember another incident during the guerrilla warfare. 2 soldiers had gone to the fields and asked the owner to let them eat some melons or a few tomatoes. They left their guns to one side and proceeded. As the owner saw them from a distance, he picked up his own gun to fire at them. In an instant, one of the soldiers picked a red tomato and shouted to the owner, "Put the gun down or I'll send this grenade flying right at you." The owner put the gun down and went away. What quick-witted preparedness and bravery! Another soldier had hung his overcoat on a wild pear tree at a distance. Shortly after that, an armed guerrilla came down from the mountain and could have captured the soldier. Turning to his overcoat, he shouted, "Captain, what shall I do with this one?" And then, as if receiving a signal from the captain, the soldier told the guerrilla, "Bring your weapon here." He then grabbed the gun and disarmed him. Geronda, was the overcoat the captain? Yes, he was the overcoat. You see, he was alone, with only his overcoat, and he succeeded in disarming the guerrilla fighter. Using this technique, he was able to gather many weapons from the guerrilla fighters. It takes bravery. I also remember a Russian monk on the holy mountain when thieves went to rob him. The moment the thieves were climbing the wall, he stood on the wall and shouted down to the thieves, "Do you want to have it with the 6-shooter or the 12-shooter?" The thieves ran off and never even looked back. Another monk, when thieves went to his cell to rob him, picked up a small frying pan and pretended to be making a telephone call. Yes, thieves are here at my cell." The thieves, assuming he had called the police, went away. Another time again, a huge man had taken a shepherd by the neck and was trying to choke him. As the poor shepherd's eyes were stretched out in fear, his assailant asked, "Why are you looking at me with such wild eyes?" And the shepherd told him, "I am looking to see which mountain peak I am going to throw you at." The assailant was frightened and left. This is why I say that we must not lose our cool at critical times. We must stay calm and let our brain think, because if the brain doesn't think, one simple foolish move can become an act of betrayal. No matter what is happening, we must pray, think, and act. The best way is to try to face a difficult situation by spiritual means. But today, unfortunately, we lack both types of bravery, both the spiritual and the natural. Spiritual bravery is born out of sanctity and a boldness before God that enables us to overcome a difficulty by spiritual means. Natural bravery helps us maintain our composure and avoid showing cowardice in time of danger. One must have much sanctity to prevent a great evil. Otherwise, where can he possibly find support? If even one soul in the monastery has spiritual bravery, he can stop anyone with evil intentions in his tracks, with one leg inside of the wall and the other outside. The enemy will be struck on the head with spiritual weapons, with the komboskoini, with a Jesus prayer, and not with a pistol. He will pray a little, and the other will remain motionless outside. He will remain there as a guard. A soul in a spiritual state can hold evil at bay, help people, and keep the monastery safe. The mere bearing woman didn't worry about anything because they were in a spiritual state and placed their trust in Christ. If they had not been in a spiritual state, what would they have trusted in to do what they did? In the spiritual life, even the most cowardly person can acquire greater bravery if he only places his trust in Christ in divine help. Such a person can go to the front line and fight in a war and win, whereas those poor people who want to harm others, even if they are brave, will be afraid because they are aware of their guilt and can only rely on their barbarism. The man of God has divine powers, and righteousness is on his side. You can see a little puppy bark at a wolf, and the wolf goes away because it feels guilty. God has so planned things that even a wolf can be afraid of a little puppy, because it too has rights in the home of its master. Now, how much more afraid will be someone who seeks to harm a person who holds Christ in his soul? For this reason, let us only fear God, not men, no matter how evil they may be. Fear of God transforms even the most cowardly person into a brave hero. The more we are united with God, the less we are afraid of anything. God will help us in our difficulties, but for God to provide a divine power, man must offer whatever little he has and can give.